Good morning, everyone. This is Financial Literacy 101, and today I have a treat for you guys. I'm very excited about today's stock review because we're talking about two stocks. We're talking about Joby Aviation and also Archer Aviation. These two stocks, these two companies are battling for the first one to start air taxi. We understand I gave a stock review, I think last year or maybe even 2 years ago, about Uber Air. Now, Uber is still trying to build this system. They're trying to build this network. And what all these companies are trying to do is when you take these air taxis, whether you take off and then you land, you have also the same service of them taking it to your destination, right? Because these air taxis won't be in a very populated area. It might be off on a side strip, or maybe someone large backyard that they had some sort of contract with. But this is very, very exciting. We won't get into it. We're going to talk about it and see where you guys can make some money. All right, let's get into it first. Now, Joby Aviation is partnered with the Japanese airline. So this is already a real thing. Now, anytime, in my opinion, when you partnership with a major airline like ANA, the Japanese airline, this is very important for them to bring this to fruition for everyday air taxi ride sharing services. Now, this is also they're going to be in partnership with Toyota Motors. They will be partnering with them as well in order to explore ways to connect the air taxis to ground-based transportation. This is absolutely phenomenal, meaning that you're going to take an air taxi, right? You may take Toyota Motors or some sort of ride sharing that Toyota may come up with. They are starting off in Japan, but they also already have a hub in America as well. And ride sharing to your air taxi to your next destination, whether you have a car or a family member, or ride share again, meaning like your Uber, your Lyft, things of that matter. So very, very important. That's what Joby. Now, this is very important, ladies and gentlemen, because this is huge for Archer. Listen to this. Archer lands a $1 billion order from United Airlines, okay? And also a SPAC deal, meaning some sort of acquisition company. This is so phenomenal. Archer Aviation, the electric aircraft startup targeting the urban air mobility market, has landed United Airlines as a customer and an investor in its bid to become a public traded company via a merger with a special purpose acquisition company. This is all in the race of them becoming an air taxi. Last but not least, I want to give you the numbers because I know a lot of people we know that it's feasible, and all of these aircraft vehicles, these air taxis are going to be ran by electric, no gas. So you already take some sort of not natural resources, but the whole hazmat of dealing with fuel, jet fuel, or that out of the picture. You're dealing with straight electricity, which is probably one of the safe things you can do when you're dealing with aircraft off a short amount of distance, because they don't need a long runway. They're going to take off vertically. So they don't even need that much land mass in order to land their aircraft. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm definitely going to be a customer. I love flying. I love getting to a place very quickly and still feeling refreshed. I know some people are not too keen on this. You rather just deal with your big aircrafts, but hey, you might be 300, 400, 500 feet in the air. Not a big deal, right? But nonetheless, let's look at this. So they're talking about Uber in this particular statement here. It says, how much will an Uber air taxi cost? Uber held a summit, Uber Elevate, in May 2019 at this conference, and they're stating that people will be paying around $5.73 per passenger for every mile. Now, these other companies are coming out stating that according to the company executive investors, it says here that air taxis might pay from $2.25 per mile to as much as $11 per mile, depending on several unpredictable factors. Now, that I don't know too much of, but I know that this is coming to fruition, and Joby has come out stating that they're going to start their air taxi service in 2024. We're talking about 2 years, ladies and gentlemen. I just can't imagine 10 years ago, I couldn't even fathom air taxis being a real thing. But now it's a real thing. They've already been testing. They've already been flying. And here's another thing that you guys need to factor in. You're thinking someone's going to be inside of the aircraft with you, right? No, they're also practicing and doing test flights of autonomous air taxi, meaning when you get inside the taxi, you have your code, maybe a QR code reader of some sort, or your phone is your beacon, your indicator, and it's already pre-programmed to go to a certain point in which you stated of the destination you want to be at. This is going to be phenomenal. And I know some of you like, well, what if it goes wrong? Ladies and gentlemen, on this channel, we're just talking about the money. We know this is going to take off. We know this is going to make some money. So let's get into some of the details very quickly here. So Joby over the first year has been down 60%. Past 3 months, 33%. Past month, they've been up 15%. Past week, up 33%. And then today in the pre-market, we're looking around 4%, and we're rounding up. Okay, it says Joby, a transportation company developing all-electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft that intends to operate as a commercial passenger aircraft beginning in 2024. I'm just going to scroll through this because we're going to get into some other information here. And of course, their direct competition is Joby Aviation, which we're going to next. In the first year here, we have them down roughly at 80%. Past 3 months, down at 45%. Past month, 13%. Past week, down 1%. And in the pre-market, look like they're up around 1.60%. Here, it says engages in development of all electric vertical takeoff and landing aircrafts. Okay, it tells where the company was founded by Brent Adcock. Now, this one is an American company out of California. Employees, they have more than 3 employees. That needs to be updated. That's severely outdated. But nonetheless, we're moving on. Let me show you this, ladies and gentlemen. Again, we're talking about air taxis. I'm loving it. Okay, I love technology. I love this whole concept. And it's not even a concept anymore. This is reality. So the future is today. Now, I wanted to show you some of the aircraft here. It says vertical takeoff landing, 0 operating missions, 1 pilot plus 4 riders, 150-mile range, 200 miles per hour to speed, and then there's 10 years in development. And that's how it's going to look, ladies and gentlemen. And again, I'm not stating that this is going to be right off the back autonomous, but they are practicing with these aircrafts autonomously. But initially, they're going to have a pilot because we know how people are. If you don't have a real person controlling, and we're like, wait a minute, hold up. It is going by itself? Yes, it's technology. A lot of our cars, even like my gas car has a autonomous driving feature. Now, when it comes to a certain degree of turning, I have to put my hands on the wheel. But for the most part, I don't really have to drive the darn thing. It's driving itself. So that's where we are when it comes to technology, okay? Let me move on. And here's Archer. Here's how their aircraft looks. So here's the big difference. As you can tell, the Joby aircraft is kind of like this spread eagle sort of thing. You got 2 arched in the back and 2 right across, and then Archer straight across. You have about 6 propellers going across, okay? And again, they're spouting about the air taxi, how people are going to get in and then drop you off at some distant location with your boo, and you guys can live and then call it back. Hopefully you got cell phone signal. Now, with that being said, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show some quick videos of each, and then we're going to get into the prediction and the forecast of where these stocks are. Now, ladies and gentlemen, both of these stocks are under $10 per share. Okay, and Joby, the one I think is going to make more money very quickly for you guys. And you see the light in the back. That's the indicator. I don't know today. I really don't know which one will be more profitable. I think over the course of time, both of them will be great for your portfolio. Now, with that being said, let's move over to some quick videos. We're going to look at the one for Joby first.
Arming.
Fair use, fair use.
Okay, coming up.
Fair use. Air taxis, ladies and gentlemen. You better start investing now. This is the future. It doesn't get no better than
Today
this.
is a really big day for electric flight. Vertical takeoff and landing. It all happened here.
If you're not going to be a customer, at least be an investor, because there's going to be people like me that's going to take one of these air taxis.
Just incredibly proud to be a part of this team that's put this together. Both on the flight test side, we have an amazing flight test team, but also just the incredible.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much it for that one. They're just showing off the aircraft, showing that it's a real thing. And now we're going to move over to Archer. Now, don't forget about Archer, because we understand with Joby's in partnership with the Japanese airlines, okay, ANA, also with Toyota Motors. Now, the important thing about Archer is in partnership with United Airlines. Not only is United Airlines a customer, but they also an investor. So anytime, now granted, this makes so much sense that they're a partnership with airlines, because airlines understand, air pathways, gust of wind, weather, all these things that you need to know about aviation. These airliners already so they're going to be in direct contact and direct business and relations with these airliners, and they already have deals on the table, already signed, sealed, and delivered. So let's look at Archer. This one is not as good as the other video, but bear with me here.
2 years ago, we started working on Maker.
There's been so much buildup to today, so much planning, so much hard work. I've had a lot of confidence in the team since day one.
First flight is really the first time we get to test the whole airplane as an integrated system off the ground.
I mean, every first flight is nerve-wracking, right? So even though Jeff and I have done this a few times.
Fair use.
You know, blood pressure still rises before every flight.
This is 2 years in the making. Designing and manufacturing an eVTOL aircraft at this scale is really quite tricky. To get to a point here where we can check off first hover flight is a tremendous milestone for the team and a big engineering milestone for us.
We've spent so much time designing an incredible vehicle, so much time.
And anytime you see a bunch of happy white people, you know there's money to be made.
The controls, and so it's really special to come see it actually.
Everybody in this video is smiling. This is money, family.
Super special day.
Air taxis. Now, this is their first flight. That's why I say it's not as good as the first one. So they're just practicing, make sure that it flies, make sure, and then they're going to go on a flight run. Watch all of these happy white people. This is money, family. All right, that's all I'm gonna show about that one, because I know you're like, what's that all about? They're just making sure that the aircraft works. Okay, when you're designing things graphically on a computer, you make sure that it's aerodynamically made. You're creating it with the right materials. All of that is fine and dandy until you actually put it into reality to make sure it actually flies. So that's what they were practicing there. But nonetheless, this is another company that's coming to make air taxis. And again, they're going to be in partnership with other companies. So picture Archer partnership with a Lyft, where you are getting air taxi to a certain destination, and then you have a Lyft or Uber or some other ride sharing business that's going to pick you up and take you to your destination. Like from here to Houston is a 4 to 4.5 hour drive, almost 5 hours depending on traffic. But if you had an air taxi, you would cut that time in half. Picture that. So I can go to Houston, go to an event, go to a show, come back before bedtime, and the transportation cost me $50. But it's much, much quicker than driving to the airport, going through security, this, that, and the other. Believe me, this is reality. This is the future. And this is when you start to make money. So with that being said, let's go over to the stock forecast for Joby first. Let's go to Joby Aviation first. And I believe you're going to make some really good money with this, family. But then again, this is a long-term investment. So if you guys want quick turnover, this may not be the stock for you. But if you're okay dropping a couple of $100 here or maybe $10 there, then this is the stock for you. We're looking at, for the low, $6 per share, currently at $6.23. The median they're forecasting in the next 12 months is $11 per share, and on a high, $16 per share at 165% rounding up per stock. Now, Archer Aviation, this is Archer Aviation. We're looking at a low, $5.50. Currently is at $3.14. At a median, it's looking at $14 per share, and at a high, $15 per share at 380% increase. Ladies and gentlemen, if I have not told you guys where to invest your money, this is where you should invest your money. Either one looks good to me. I'm about to go over and invest. The market is live, so make that money. This is Financial Literacy 101. Learn money and be inspired. You guys have a great and wonderful hump day. I'm out.